My name is David Perry, and I'm the Chief Technology Officer for S4 Mobile Laboratories. We are a company, we came out of an archaeology project at the University of Akron. Most of the founders are faculty or students at the university. Archaeologists find things that are buried underground, right? So we are producing a device that can detect things that are underground. Major market segment is for finding dead bodies underground. There are a large number of missing persons every year, only about 3% of which are found. There's more than 80,000 soldiers still missing from wars from the Second World War up to the present. And so it's our job to build this device to help law enforcement and military and any others to be able to locate those bodies by searching certain plots of land where they might be. The device that we're going to build and sell is fairly complicated. It has a mechanical mechanism that pushes, just by brute force, just pushes the probe into the ground. It's got the fiber optics connecting to the spectroscopy. It's got computer control. It has to be mobile. And so there are a lot of technical components to it. It takes a lot of engineering, mechanical, electrical, software engineering, right? And we've taken advantage of the MAGNET group. So in our SBIR Phase 1 program, that was basically working with them on producing a mechanical design, engineering design for the product. And they were very helpful because we don't have the depth of engineering staff to be able to do it, where our background is in science, right? And I'm the spectroscopist. Spectroscopy is the tool that we use, right? That's basically, it uses light, the light bounces off the soil and gives the indication of what's in the soil in terms of the chemistry. So that's the technique. We're interested in new applications of our technology. As I say, we can find things that are underground by the chemical residues that are left in the soil. And if there may be different applications of that or new ways of approaching it that we haven't seen. So we're always interested in talking to people. We have had inquiries from property owners, even in the Northeast Ohio area here, people who have land that may have been a 19th century burial ground, and they need help in figuring that out. Are there burials on this land before they start to develop it in some way? If the police are looking for a clandestine burial in a certain plot of ground, they have a clue that maybe it's here somewhere, then what do? They bring cadaver dogs who will come and sniff. And you've probably seen they also can sniff for drugs and oranges at airports and things like this, right? And the dogs are pretty good at identifying the smells, but they don't necessarily identify the right place where it is or the smell. Maybe if it's an old event, they may not find it at all, or they may find it in several places. So law enforcement usually finds that it's not very effective in finding the burials that they need. We were able, somewhere in Northeast Ohio, detect burials that are more than 100 years old. So it's, the time duration since the event is not a problem. And our technology just pokes holes in the ground on a fairly rapid basis, so it's much less intrusive and less expensive. One of our members of the team is the archaeologist Tim Matney, and he has been involved working with police over a number of years, helping them to locate burials by other means, previous technologies. And there was a very interesting story about Linda Pagano, who was a teenage girl who went missing in the 1970s. 42 years later, my colleague was able to help the police identify the location of her burial. And they had an event at which some of the family members were there to, recognize the finding and bring closure. And her brother said, "I thought I would never know. I thought I would die wondering what happened to her." And this was, it's not the result they wanted, but at least they have closure. And that's one of the things that we are trying to do with our technology, is to help bring families closure when there's been a tragedy of one kind or another.